With 10 days out until the 2022 midterm elections, Republicans are now optimistic that they'll achieve a majority in the House of Representatives, due mostly to inflation matched with higher interest rates. Meanwhile, the Senate is a toss-up. This is a shift in outlook in July and August, on the heels of the Supreme Court's Dobbs decision reversing Roe v. Wade, paired with Democratic passage of the Inflation Reduction Act. House Republicans predicted an impending loss for the GOP. They regrouped and refocused their message. The Congressional Leadership Fund, or the CLF, a $250 million super-PAC dedicated to installing California Republican Representative Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House, took a page from Democratic strategist James Carville's political panacea, "It's the economy, stupid." In a wide-ranging interview with Politico, CLF's president Dan Conston reveals that they are pointing out to blue-collar workers that, quote, "we are trying to build economic resentment of what Democrats are doing to hurt the economy, to help their friends in the economy while you are getting screwed." All Republicans have to do is merely point out high gas prices. On the higher end of the economic spectrum, the CLF merely says, here's what's happened to your 401k, to the economy. Here's why you are disadvantaged by this. And polls confirm the GOP's sanguine assessment. Cook Political Report changed its House forecast from a GOP gain of 10 to 20 seats to a pickup of 12 to 25 seats, and all they need is 4 seats to flip the House. And most experts agree that there is very little short-term that anybody painlessly can do to quash inflation. This wave of price increases is a worldwide phenomenon driven largely by the war in Ukraine, and while Russia's President Vladimir Putin is inflicting steep fees on critical natural gas supplies to Europe, Russia's invasion of Ukraine is also driving up food prices. And for example, 40% of the world's food program supplies from Ukraine, and none of that is being delivered now. And although the United States inflation rate hovers at around 8.2%, Europe has soared to 10.9%. And to combat this trend, central bankers are hiking interest rates to cool off the economies and get inflation under control. Short-term and high interest rates mean higher borrowing, lower wages. While this harsh medicine makes sense from a macroeconomic perspective, it is a disaster politically. And like Sisyphus pushing up a boulder to roll up a hill, President Biden is fighting political gravity. He is crisscrossing the United States and touting historically low unemployment of 3.5%. When Biden took office, unemployment was 6.2%. This is a historic drop in the unemployment rate. But that decrease cannot sway voters that this economy is where it should be, and this would be a crushing defeat for Democrats. And from the White House, this is Douglas Christian.